US Open, Pinehurst, what a place this is. The great players are here. Obviously, one is Victor Hovland, his instructor, Joe Mayo. Are you going to watch me, Chip? Are you going to help me here, Joe? Like you helped the great Victor Hovland, the FedEx Cup champion?
I've seen you chip. I don't think you need very much help. So.
Well, there was one off camera there, but we'll tell you about it. But what, that high, and it just came out like a one iron. So what would you like me to do, Joe?
Hit me a couple to this first hole.
Right, okay.
We're going to measure what you're doing.
Now, to be honest with you all, someone who doesn't play, I broadcast, as you all know, is you don't play a lot. Now, the first thing that goes, really, is chipping and the putting. Would you back that up?
Yes, short game, the touch shots.
I can still hit a driver. I can still hit a 7-iron on there to 25 feet. I can do all that. But when it comes to a escaping shot, like you people going to work, this is where you need to practice if you want to get the scoring down. Okay, so you just want a couple here to the short flag.
Absolutely.
Little under it.
Little under it.
Little under it, yep. And just popped up a little higher. I'd like this in there a little lower.
And I would agree with that.
Yep. A little like that, but just didn't hit it. Okay, what did I do wrong?
You didn't do anything wrong, didn't hit it. So what I want the viewers to understand is, on that shot, his angle of attack was 9 degrees down. 9 degrees down. So that means the club head was moving 9 degrees down when you hit the ball. Now, to your way of thinking, is 9 degrees down steep?
Yes.
It sounds steep, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Did you gouge the ground?
Not really.
No.
But I had the club face open.
But you were still 9 degrees down. The bottom line is this, is that you didn't gouge the earth, you didn't take a deep divot, and we have been told that when we gouge the ground and we take deep divots that were too steep. That shot you just hit proves that that's not true. So hit me a couple bit more here. Low spinner to the first hole.
Same thing.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, you helped me there because before we intrude that third shot,
yep,
you said you didn't commit, you just didn't hit it.
Just didn't hit it.
I hit that a little firmer. But one thing I don't like about that, Joe, as a player, I want that to be like that. Am I right? I'm feeling that is like that, but then it turns over.
Absolutely. And I've had players relay that same feel to me as well. But of note, would you agree you hit the ground slightly before that shot?
Yes. Lucky not to bounce up and knife it.
Yes. You were 3 degrees down. So you hit the ground too soon when you were shallow. The shot before where you were 9 degrees down, that low point was forward. You hit the ball very solidly with a predictable launch and a predictable spin. On this one, you hit the ground too soon. And you agree, here at the US Open, hitting the ground too soon can be a disaster.
Oh, disaster, especially if it's soft or when it gets firm, if it bounces before it.
The drop kick blade.
Oh, knife, over the back.
Over the back. So think about it. The shallowness moved the low point back. You hit the ground too soon. So let's pull up one more ball. And I want you to focus on getting the low point slightly more forward, that little low spinner in there.
What do you mean forward? Please explain with
Where this golf club strikes the ground, not behind the ball, try to strike the ground right in front of the ball.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Yes.
Gotcha. That's not the closest, but that felt the best, even though I did hit a little bit behind it.
Yep, do it again.
Do that again.
Yep.
So you want the player to feel almost like hit the ball and this is where it hits the ground.
100% correct. Okay, you feel that ground first?
I did.
Okay, let's keep moving it forward because again, that is very shallow.
That's amazing. This is something that I actually learnt as a kid, not through a coach like yourself,
yes,
but just me around the green all day. You've got to hit the ball first. You have to hit the ball first. It's just common sense, isn't it?
Move that low point forward.
Did it
Wonderful.
Again. I'm doing them all the time.
Okay.
They're not horrific, but...
But would you agree that was a great shot?
Absolutely. You're just making so much sense.
Launch angle good.
Yep.
Spin rate good.
Yep.
Very controllable, very predictable. Don't look at the machine. What was your angle of attack? Steep or shallow?
I don't know. I can improve like that like you can't believe. I could stand here like 6 hours like I did as a youngster, and what you've just told me in 5 minutes, I can improve my chipping no end.
You can. Ladies and gentlemen watching this, he was over 9 degrees down. You were almost 10 degrees down. Perfect launch, perfect spin, a shot from a good player of yourself. You said it was a very acceptable shot. There was no digging. There was no divot taken. U.S. Open conditions, almost 10 degrees down. So right now, you should be saying, wait a second, hold on. This is kind of giving me a little bit of a, I'm spinning right now. My head is spinning because I was told that steep equals digging. Steep equals knifing. It's not true. And you're living proof of it right there. As a matter of fact, the 2 shots that you hit that you kind of bounced or flubbed that you didn't like, you were extremely shallow. The perfect shot, you were almost 10 down, very steep. One more time for us. You're slightly...
See, I would, if I was now on tour, I'd almost practice what you're teaching. I'd be giving it these ones.
Absolutely.
I'd be going forward of the ball.
We got to get
even
this.
to rehearse it.
I have no problems with that. Now move that strike point forward.
Oh, I tell you what, I just underhit it. I can do that.
Okay. Just a little harder.
I've just got to hit it harder.
Yes. Okay.
Now what happened then?
You see how the ball launches upward?
Down.
So now this is going to get a little bit technical for people watching. You hit the ground clearly too soon.
Yeah.
When you hit the ground too soon, grass and or dirt gets between club and ball.
Yeah.
When that happens, we lose this thing called friction. And friction helps us spin the ball. It helps us control launch angle. Well, when that dirt and that grass got in there, friction's out the window, the ball pops up in the air. And the viewers at home watching this, they experience that shot every day when they play. They flub one or they fat one and the ball goes this way with no spin whatsoever.
But the reason why I did it was just so he could explain why you all get in a bit of trouble, you know?
Right, so, you know, the 10 handicapper, the 12 handicapper right now at home, he wants to hit that low shot that comes in there spinning like the tour players. But his shot goes up too high, like a lollipop, with no spin, because friction was destroyed because of that. So let's do it again. Hit it cleaner. And as you said 5 minutes ago, ball first.
Now this is all practice, you know, you have to practice all the time what Joe is saying, but that's what golf's all about. You improve this part of your game, gee whiz, you're going to have some fun with your golf. And Dave, he said 10 and 12 handicapper, you are a good player, but you can easily be single figures.
100% agree.
That's the one.
Lovely shot. Lovely shot.
Yeah, that was the one.
8.2 degrees down, not shallow, not shallow. Again, perfect strike, great launch, high spin, agree?
Yes.
So what we've learned in the 5 or 10 minutes that you've been hitting shots is when you get a result that you don't like, you're too shallow. You're hitting the ground too soon. When you get the shot that you do love, that nice low launch, high spin shot, your angle of attack is very steep, which means you're moving the strike point on the ground more forward. And as you said, hitting the ball first. Like the greats of the past. You know, I've looked at Jose Maria Olazabal's chipping stroke.
Oh, played with a lot with him.
Seve.
I played a lot with him.
The great Luke Donald.
Geniuses.
Absolutely, and guess what they do? They hit the ball first.
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to hit the ground first on a specialty shot. But I guarantee if we had Jose Maria right here hitting these shots, it's ball first every single time, and he's just going to rip them in there. And if we had Victor here hitting shots for us, I promise you these things are coming in nice and low, spinning like crazy, ball first contact.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
And what about, one last question, Joe, is how much is mental commitment in a shot like it? Because you can't just practice this, you've got to commit, you've got to have confidence. Does confidence come with persistence and practice?
Absolutely. You know, I say that confidence comes from repeated successful attempts. Repeated successful attempts. If you flub 5 in a row, you probably don't have much confidence. But working with PGA Tour players, getting them to believe is half the battle. Sometimes maybe even more. And being a great player yourself, you know that believing and trusting in what you're doing is huge. And I have a saying that at this level, at the U.S. Open level, when you're standing in the fairway and you've got to hit a golf shot, your belief trumps everything. And if you don't believe, you're dead in the water. That's how I feel.
Well, I tell you what, this week at the US Open at Pinehurst, if you can't chip, you may as well get in the courtesy car, jump and drive out the front gate and jump on an aeroplane and go home. Joe, it's just been an absolute learning experience, and thank you ever so much. Ping! Play your best.